In this video, we'll be taking a look at two NFL games happening on September 17, 2023, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games. So 2 picks for each game, 4 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 2 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start. If you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Green Bay Packers versus Atlanta Falcons. The Green Bay Packers face the Atlanta Falcons, with both teams looking to build off of impressive wins. The Packers went on the road and stomped their rival Chicago Bears 38-20, while the Falcons handled the Carolina Panthers in a decisive 24-10 victory. Both teams look to jump to 2-0 on the season and make a statement in the National Football Conference, and the upcoming game should be a great one. The Packers have some major injury concerns heading into this game. Aaron Jones and Christian Watson are both dealing with hamstring injuries, and it's unknown if they are going to be able to go in this game. Watson missed the first game against the Packers, while Jones played a big role in the Packers' Week 1 victory over the Chicago Bears. In the first game of the year against the Bears, the Packers put up 38 points, and that led to the blowout victory. Jordan Love completed 15 of his 27 passes for 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. Aaron Jones finished with 9 carries for 41 yards and a touchdown. He also caught 2 passes for 86 yards and a touchdown. If Jones can't go in this game, A.J. Dillon is going to need to have a big game. If the Falcons are going to find success all season, it's going to be all about the running game. Bijan Robinson was the first-round pick, and he finished with 10 carries for 56 yards. Tyler Allgeier also had a huge game, finishing with 15 carries for 75 yards and 2 touchdowns. It's clear they are going to be the 1-2 punch all season if they both stay healthy. In the first game against the Carolina Panthers, the Falcons were able to secure a 24-10 victory. Desmond Ridder completed 15 of his 18 passes for 1 touchdown. Against the Panthers, the Falcons' defense struggled to stop the run, and that is going to need to be something that improved here. If you had any doubts about the Green Bay Packers and Jordan Love at the beginning of the season, they should all be put to rest after a fantastic Week 1 performance against the Bears. Love had a phenomenal game and looked excellent, finishing with 254 passing yards, 3 touchdowns, and most importantly, the win. Having Love only adds more explosiveness to the Packers' offense, because they are led by running back Aaron Jones, who can have a major impact as both a runner and receiver. He had over 1,000 rushing yards last season and will now open up the play-action passing game for the Packers. This Packers offense looks poised for success all season long, and Green Bay could be a surprise contender for the National Football Conference North. The Falcons also got the 2023 NFL season started with a win thanks to a 24-10 victory over the Panthers, but that was arguably a softer opponent than Green Bay faced. Atlanta is led by running backs Bijan Robinson and Tyler Allgeier, who rushed for 126 yards combined and a touchdown. This Atlanta team will have to rely heavily on the run game early in the season because they have an inexperienced quarterback, Desmond Ridder, under center. Ridder didn't have to do much last game to get the win against the Panthers, but the Packers' defense should be able to put more pressure on him and force him to make mistakes. He only had to throw 18 passes, but managed just 115 passing yards and got sacked 4 times in Week 1. With all that said, the injuries to the offense for Green Bay gives me a lot of concern for their ability to move the ball. Atlanta has the skill position players that are healthy, and neither quarterback really did too much to impress in Week 1. This Falcons defense has an outstanding secondary with A.J. Terrell, Jeff Okudah, and Jesse Bates III. Because Aaron Jones might not be at 100%, it will be tough to expect much out of the Packers offense. We're still feeling these 2 teams out, and I'm not sure anybody is completely convinced with the Packers or Falcons. The jury is still out on Jordan Love, and the Packers had issues stopping the run last week. The same can be said about Desmond Ridder and the fact the Falcons are 30th in passing offense through the first week. Jordan Love looked good in his first game, but I am still not sold on him. The Falcons' offense was good in the first game because of their running game, and that is going to continue here. Look for the Falcons to run wild here. The injury issues for the Packers are a big concern to me, and it's going to really hurt them in this game. I'm not sure what to think of either team, but the Falcons are at home, and they looked sharper defensively in their opening contest. Expect Arthur Smith to do better at designing plays for Drake London and Kyle Pitts to be open and take care of business in their own building. The Falcons' offense will be good here, and that will be the difference as Atlanta is going to get the job done here. So the Atlanta Falcons money line is our full game side pick. This matchup features two teams with inexperienced young quarterbacks under center. The Falcons have a second-year quarterback, and their matchup against the Panthers last week indicated that they will not force him to make big plays on the field and throw the ball all the time. Atlanta will instead rely on rookie running back Bijan Robinson to carry the workload on the ground, and that should milk plenty of clock as a result. The Falcons' defense looked good in Week 1, but they were facing a rookie quarterback as they held the Panthers to 10 points. The Packers have a young quarterback of their own in Jordan Love, but he looked excellent in his first start of the season. Love will be playing a better defense this week, and I'm expecting some regression after his big game last week. This is one of the smaller totals for the entire Week 2, and there is a reason. Bijan Robinson, Tyler Algier, and Aaron Jones, if healthy, will be able to keep the clock going. Green Bay went 9 of 1-6 on third down tries, while Atlanta was a putrid 2 of 1-0 on those situations, so there are going to be more 3-and-outs than people want to believe. These defenses have shown the ability to control games and have a lot of talent to slow down these young skill players. Both of these defenses will likely be making plays and make it tough for the offense to score a lot of points. Expect both teams to run the ball heavily in this one and take this to be a low-scoring game. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Las Vegas Raiders versus Buffalo Bills. The Las Vegas Raiders will be going for their first road win when they face the Buffalo Bills on Sunday afternoon. The game will be played at Highmark Stadium. The Raiders are coming off a 17-16 win over Denver as 3-point underdogs. The Bills are coming off a 22-16 loss to the Jets as 2.5-point favorites. Las Vegas is 6-4 in its last 10 games against Buffalo. The Las Vegas Raiders are 1-0 this year after they defeated Denver by a score of 17-16 in Week 1. Las Vegas trailed 13-10 at the half and 16-10 in the fourth quarter, but they were able to get a Jacoby Meyers touchdown reception and a Daniel Carlson extra point for the win. The Raiders outgained Denver by 1 yard, 261-260, and turned the ball over one time, while going 5-11 on third down conversions. Las Vegas passed for 200 yards and only ran for 61 yards in the win. Jimmy Garoppolo threw for 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception for the Raiders in the game. Josh Jacobs rushed for 48 yards, while Jacoby Meyers caught 9 passes for 81 yards and 2 scores in the win. Devontae Adams added 6 catches for 66 yards. The Las Vegas defense allowed 166 passing yards and 94 rushing yards. The Buffalo Bills are 0-1 this season after they lost to the Jets in overtime on Monday Night Football by a score of 22-16 last week. Buffalo didn't have to deal with Aaron Rodgers for long, as he was hurt on the first drive. The Bills led 13-3 at the half, but only scored 3 points during the second half. Buffalo allowed New York to return a punt for a touchdown in overtime to end the game. Buffalo outgained New York by a total of 314-289, but turned the ball over 4 times. Turnovers were the key to this game, as Josh Allen threw 3 interceptions and fumbled once. Allen did throw for 236 yards, 1 touchdown, and the 3 interceptions for the Bills, while also adding 36 rushing yards. James Cook rushed for 46 yards, while Stephon Diggs caught 10 passes for 102 yards and 1 score. The Buffalo defense allowed 117 passing yards and 172 rushing yards, while forcing 1 turnover. As we gear up for this monumental clash, the Buffalo Bills emerge as the undeniable favorites, holding a significant home advantage at the Highmark Stadium. Drawing from their recent performances, the Bills have demonstrated a more potent offensive force, accumulating a total of 333 yards in their previous outing compared to the Raiders' 261 yards. The Bills' quarterback, Josh Allen, despite facing interceptions in the last game, showcased his capability by throwing for 236 yards and securing a touchdown. Allen, known for his resilience, is expected to bounce back stronger, steering the Bills with a more focused and clinical approach in the passing game. The receiving end, bolstered by the remarkable Stephon Diggs, who racked up an impressive 102 yards from 10 receptions, including a touchdown, stands as a formidable force ready to breach the Raiders' defenses. Moreover, the Bills have shown a balanced offensive strategy with James Cook leading the rushing department, promising to exploit the vulnerabilities in the Raiders' defense, which allowed 94 rushing yards in their last game. The Bills are expected to dominate the ground game, leveraging Cook's agility and vision. On the defensive front, the Bills will be keen on fortifying their lines, having allowed 312 total yards in their previous game. game. The defense unit, which is expected to come back stronger, will play a pivotal role in curbing the Raiders' offensive threats, focusing on a tighter defense to control the game. Buffalo had the third-best scoring offense in the league last season, but they got stifled by the Jets, who entered the season with the aim to dethrone the Bills as American Football Conference East champions. Even though they averaged over 4 yards per carry on the ground, the Bills didn't run the ball very much against the Jets and will be able to pick up yards on the ground against a Raiders team that gave up 4.3 yards per carry against the Broncos. Buffalo's passing game wasn't very effective in their first game thanks in large part to Allen's turnovers. The Raiders played well against the pass in their first game, but they were facing a banged-up Denver offense that is depleted at the receiver position, while the Bills have a dangerous duo in Diggs and Gabe Davis, who combined for over 2,200 receiving yards last season, so expect a bounce-back game from Allen and his offense on Sunday. The Raiders managed to get the win in their last game, but they also didn't play well offensively, scoring only 17 points. They couldn't run the ball against the Broncos, and Jacobs, who led the league in rushing last season, is still dealing with rust after holding out for a new contract in the offseason. They also didn't throw the ball well in that game, finishing with 200 yards. The Bills played well against the pass last season and picked up where they left off against the Jets, giving up less than 150 passing yards in the game. They weren't as efficient against the run, but with the exception of an 83-yard run from Breece Hall, they did a good job bottling up New York's running backs, so don't expect them to give up a lot of yards in this game. This is a steep line all things considered, but I think this is one of those things where the Bills come out and couldn't look any worse than they did on Monday night. I think despite the win, there were still some concerns I have with the Raiders going forward, and I just think this is a game the Bills win by double digits. With a comprehensive strategy encompassing a potent offensive unit and a revitalized defense, the Bills are poised to not only win but to do so decisively with a display of superiority on their home field. So the Buffalo Bills to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. I thought Garoppolo looked pretty sharp in Las Vegas' Week 1 upset win over the Broncos, but I was even more impressed by their defense. Max Crosby is a legit star, and I think he's going to get after Josh Allen here. The Raiders know that they aren't going to win a shootout with Buffalo, so I expect them to be pretty conservative on offense in an attempt to increase variance by having Josh Jacobs milk the clock and reduce the number of possessions. The Bills certainly didn't lose on Monday night because of their defense, which had Zach Wilson looking lost for most of the night. They lost because their offense couldn't muster more than 16 points in a game that went to overtime. Buffalo is still looking for their post-Brian Daboll offensive identity, and it doesn't look like they're anywhere close to finding it. The Raiders scored 17 points in their first game. They averaged 25 points per game in their last 3 games against the Bills. They didn't move the ball well through the air and on the ground, and they're facing a defense that did a good job getting after the quarterback in their last game, so don't expect them to score more than 20 points in this game. The Bills scored 16 points in their first game. They moved the ball well on the ground, and they were also able to throw it against a good New York team. The Raiders weren't very good against the run, but they played well against the pass while holding the Broncos to 16 points, so don't expect Buffalo to score enough points to push the score past the total. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed, subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.